North. Now, this was in the, in the Scandinavian Film Festival. It's a 2-hour running time, MA rated. One of the great Nordic mysteries, Margrete, Margrete, Queen of the North, inspired by a remarkable true story of a fearless female ruler. Here's another female story. 1402, when a 50-year-old achieves what no man has managed before. Centuries of bloody... Whenever I try and speak, this happens. Centuries of bloody war, and Margrete, played by Trine Tryholm in a great performance, brings together Norway, Denmark and Sweden in a peaceful union. Beautiful countries that we've been a good fortune, my wife and I, to visit, and great part of the world. As a woman, she's forbidden from ascending to the throne, so she governs indirectly through her adopted son, King Eric. Despite her achievement, the alliance is a precarious one, with the fledgling Nordic Union beset by enemies. So she hatches a plan to secure the territory's future and help prevent it being overrun by the Germans. Yeah, the Germans are on the scene. She brokers a marriage between Eric, the King Eric I mentioned, and English Princess Philippa, who's daughter of King Henry V. What she's not anticipating is a conspiracy within her own ranks. And that's the starting off point. Subterfuge, intrigue and betrayal are in play. Look, this is the largest and most expensive production mounted in Danish film history, and it really does show. Does it not, Greg King?
It does indeed. I thought the location looked fantastic there. The production design for the castle also really good there. The natural lighting there. But the intrigue is the thing that keeps you hooked on it there. Something's rotten in the state of Norway there. All the political intrigues, the backstabbing and the manipulations behind the scene there keep you guessing what's actually going on there. Is this pretended to throne her real son or not ever? And it keeps going there, piling on mystery on mystery. And I thought Queen our appearance was really good as Queen Margaret there. I thought she had a strength of character there and dominated the scene she was in.
Is this? I mean, this surely is going to be the nomination for Oscars next year, the country nomination, don't you think, Dave?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think it has to be. Look, I always find these films interesting because that's where my family heritage comes from, and because I didn't find out until later in life about my Scandinavian heritage, I love going back now and watching these films and seeing a little bit about where my family came from. I found this really fascinating. It almost played out like an episode of Game of Thrones or a Shakespearean play. I thought it was really well put together, brilliantly acted, and there was so much to love about this film.
I mean, it's superbly constructed. Twists are plenty. I've got a lot of credit to the writers, Peter Krausz. Yeah, I mean, they've done a great job.
Yes, as always, the writing is the first thing you look for, and it certainly is well written. From what I've read, it seems the film does play a little bit fast and loose with historical aspects of the 15th century and this female ruler, but that doesn't matter because the film itself is pretty powerful. Trine Tryholm does an excellent job in this big budget Danish production. And the intrigue and, the Shakespearean aspect of what's going on behind the scenes is pretty powerful stuff. I wasn't totally convinced, I think, by the way the film resolved itself, but nevertheless, I think it's a pretty good film overall.
Yeah, I wonder whether it sort of twisted itself almost into a loop where you couldn't. How do you resolve this kind of? I wondered about that too.
Yeah. So, I mean, leaving that to one side, and it could well be the Danish nomination for Best International Oscar, but I think there are other countries that have got films that are more likely to win.
Ah, fair enough. Did you like it? Who haven't we spoken to about this? Jackie?
Oh, I haven't seen it, Alex.
Oh, you haven't? And Greg, you've spoken about it, haven't you?
Yes.
Totally.
Yeah,
All
as
right,
well as coughing your guts out, you're losing your memory, Alex.
I'm losing my memory, exactly. Yeah, that's part of my... Yeah, there's so many here. There's so many champion film people with me today that I'm losing it a little bit. But look, the Wild
losing
Country...
your religion.
Exactly. Well, the Wild Country, it serves as another character in the film, though, as far as I'm concerned. The quality of the cinematography, we haven't spoken about that. Wow. I mean, Rasmus Wittebach is his name. Look, a handful of actors bring credibility and clout to their respective characterizations, and they really do. I mean, it is Trin's film, though. She does a great job, and the tension is ratcheted up by the composer. I mean, the compelling score in this one as well. So I reckon it's well worth seeing. It's called Margrete, Margret, Queen of the North. Let's get scores, please, folks. Let's start with you, Greg.
I'm going to give it 7 to 7.5 out of 10. I'm just thinking what it would have cost to make a film of this scope and scale in Hollywood. There would have been probably 10 times the budget.
Yeah, I think that they'll have a little bit more money in Hollywood, but it
looks fantastic for what they spent on it. But yeah, you can see that everything is on the screen though.
Correct. Yeah. So okay, let's go to Peter Krausz.
Yes, good film, Margrete, as it's pronounced. 7 out of 10 from me.
7 out of 10. Okay. And Dave Griffiths.
Yeah, look, I'm giving it a 7 out of 10 as well. A really, really good historical epic, and yeah, well acted and well written.
Fantastic. My pronunciation is appalling, but I give Margrete a 7.5 out of 10. So we're in similar territory. Now, I've got to say again, thank you very much for being with us, and I'm sorry that I have been less than ideal in terms of my vocal proclivity today.